Alright, so in this module, we're going to be looking at conic sections. Right? So what you see in front of you is kind of the double cone, right? It's a cone, two cones with their points kind of on top of each other. And cutting through the conic section is a plane, right? So these conic sections are going to be curves, right? Even though this cone here is a 3D object. Right, what we're going to be looking at are the curves that are made by cutting this conic section with this plane at different angles, right? What you see here, this first one is a conic section we've actually already have talked about, right? If I kind of move it in the correct manner here. Okay, there it goes. You see that curve there? Now that's a circle, right? That's when the plane is parallel to both of the bases of the cones, right? But if I start making it on an incline, we'll see that that will change, right? So give me a second here. All right, so I have the cone here. Now let me incline the plane a bit. Okay, now what you start to see there is you start to see that curve change, right? Now it has more of an oval shape, right? This is what we call an ellipse, right? So you see this is our second conic section, right? We talked about circles briefly in this course. The first conic section is this ellipse, right? So that's what happens when we cut this conic with an angled plane. Now if we continue to angle the plane, there we go, we have a parabola, which we have spent some time with the parabola here as well, a little more time than we did the circle, but this will be our third conic section, the last one that we cover in this module, and we'll look at a different approach, different parts of the parabola that we didn't get into when we studied quadratics. Right, we'll introduce the focus of a parabola and a directrix and how to calculate those, right? And then if I continue to angle this plane here, we'll look at our third and final conic section that will be covered here. And this is what's called the hyperbola, right? You can almost think of this as two parabolas here. Right? And we'll place this in context of our x and y axes, but for now, I just wanted to show you so you can get an idea where these conic sections come from, right, and why they're referred to in this way, right? It's from this double cone and just taking a plane through this double cone and slicing it at different angles. All right, and we see here we have our first one was an ellipse, so kind of oval shaped, right? A parabola, which we've talked about before, and then this hyperbola, right? So each of these conic sections will get into the different, naming the different parts and generating equations for each one of those, depending on some certain conditions that are given to us.